listening to The Nasty Table, the premier source for tabletop role-playing actual play. Now come on in, relax, and pull up a seat to The Nasty Table. Last session at the Nasty Table.
Any thought in going to this guy Gut Keat? Gonna pay us for our help going after those mines?
The Cracked Mesa clan. In your experience, when orcs band together, it is never for anything good, but there are a few exceptions. They're one of the more well put together orcish clans. You also see half-constructed siege weapons.
You would be provided an equal share of any and all valuables, mounts, if needed. But you would also need to swear fealty to Vorgath.
Stick my hand out.
Present him my palm.
Stick a paw out.
Rook looks hesitant, but he shakes.
He's gonna be opening those big doors for me.
Roll for initiative.
7 days to have your word and your handshake.
So where the hell we sleeping?
So it was interesting. I was having a conversation with Alex while you guys were outside. We were talking about the differences between our DM style, and it struck me that I've never played under him as a DM. He's played under me as a DM, and he's DM'd himself, but there is one person who has played with both of us as a DM. So I am curious, Chup, what are the differences between Alex and my DM style? I won't get my feelings hurt. You don't have to say one's better than the other. Whatever the case is, I'm just curious about any kind of distinct differences that you notice.
Careful, Chup.
You see, this is
Careful what
tough
you
because
Pal.
I'm not asking which one you like more.
No, this is tough because as a player, I think it's more of an answer of the tables that we're playing at, and not the DMs. You're right. There's probably majority influences the DM, but dude, I've had different experiences with you and him with different people at the table. Very different experiences. So, with that being as a preface, I think when we played with Alex, we were quicker to kind of say fuck it to some rules. And I don't mean that in like a we don't play by the rules way. Like,
yeah.
We definitely play D&D.
Alex embraces
the
rule of cool.
We play 5e. I can't even say rule of cool. It's like a rule of least resistance, and it's a flow kind of thing, but sometimes you find that you do it and then you get stuck, like you gotta be able to have the foresight to know when to use it and when not to use it.
I think
he does it more and you do it less, and sometimes it works when we do it because then it's like we see a mechanic and it like works and then we like know how to do it. And then other times it's like, man, we spent 10 minutes talking about this shit and we probably could have just fucking punched our way through it. And like, and it didn't really matter. I don't know.
For me, I think one of the motivating factors for sticking to the rules, how I do, and I definitely stick to the rules way less than I did I stick to the rules less now than I did before. Excuse me.
You do.
But the reason I do it, and the reason that I try to stick to the rules, is that when you guys get that little fucking thing that you're like, perfect example, down in the mines, and Nick's reading through his character sheet, and he's like, 2 people are down, and he's got the fucking unicorn, right? Like, that feels really, really cool because we've kind of set the standard of playing within the rules here, that when you have something that applies in this, it's like fucking sticking it to me or sticking it to, I don't know, whatever the omniscient God is, if that kind of makes sense, where when you're able to use the tools that you've been given in order to pull off very cool things, for me, and I could be completely wrong in this, I feel like that's more rewarding as a player. That when we're constantly sticking to the rules and not playing like backyard football, when you get the touchdown, it feels way more like, almost like deserved. And for, I think that I pull on that because for me, if I was a player, I feel like I would like that more. You know, it's kind of like pulling a fast one on the DM and being able to say, this works. Like, I know this works. Does that make sense?
I think it makes sense.
Oh yeah. So you want to?
I was gonna say. I will say like I didn't tell anybody what I had, and I waited for that situation, and that felt good about it. Where it was like, this is perfect. This is the situation. Now I can do it, and I was waiting for the right time. Where I could have done it in other situations, and it would have been like, cool. But because it was in that situation, I feel like it was sick. I don't know.
I also think
awesome.
Compared to other DMs, I kind of have a slower approach to
One
the
at a
game
time.
too, just like in general too.
Did you?
Yeah, I mean, I've only played with you two and Mario as a DM. So, and with Mario, I never played a campaign alone with. It was only one shot or multi-shots or the joint thing. So I don't really know. Like if you're slower than Alex, but what does that put you on the spectrum? I don't really know.
Right. And I don't want to romanticize it, but like we have that forever because of the podcast, because we recorded it. You know, if we didn't record it, this would just be like memories and we would be like talking about it. But because we have the microphones in front of us and because what we're talking about right now, over 10,000 people have listened to as well and seem to have liked it for the most part based off of our ratings. Like, it's really cool that we get to share something like that. You know, it means way more to us than it might to anybody else, and that's the way that I want it to be. But being able to be in front of the microphone is nice to be able to share that. The other thing too, and this was actually kind of funny, there's some downsides to recording from my perspective. I can't gaslight you guys because I used to gaslight you guys all the time when we played D&D. Changing NPC names, changing town names, all sorts of stuff. Like, I can't get away with that anymore. So I've definitely had to increase my note-taking skills from the DM side and re-listen to the episodes and make sure that I got all the information right. But definitely more of a plus side. Yeah, LFECU was fun as fuck.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm also very happy that we're if we played Delta Green without the podcast in mind, then I would not have been able to continue playing. You know, we wouldn't have had mics, we wouldn't have had headsets.
True.
Like, it wouldn't have evolved into that, and like that's just
Facts.
Yeah, I didn't think about
bare
that.
minimum. Why I'm very glad that we even started to do it. Just bare
Would we have
minimum.
not been playing D&D? Would we have just said, Alex can't play, fuck it?
I probably would have focused my attention towards 12 gauge.
Yeah.
And that sucks, but I probably would have done that. One last thing that I wanted to talk about, just because we mentioned LFECU, something we didn't record was K-Cell and SVPD. Do you guys remember stuff from that like you remember stuff from LFECU?
No.
I don't think so either, right?
But I do not think it's because we didn't record. Even though maybe my mind's clouded because I think I've listened to LFECU twice now. But, like I said, I think that was fucking a perfect story that we RP'd. I think it was perfect. I've never played in a campaign that I liked more than that.
I will say about K-Cell, like, I feel like this is like so cliche, but every campaign that we were in prior led up to led up to LFVCU. Like, you guys had your campaign going, your D&D campaign going. Like, Chup, we had our D&D campaign going, and then we dabbled in Delta Green, and that was us three, like Mike, Finn, and Nick. And then it was like, what if we combine? Like, I don't know, it just all fucking like meshed.
Well,
and it was like it was a perfect storm.
I've said it so many times before that the only reason that this campaign or this campaigns exist is because I went like 9 months without running anything, and I was like losing my fucking mind, and I'm like, I really want to spend time to make a campaign, but I'm sick of these campaigns falling apart. I'm sick of people who don't care about the games. I'm sick about all this shit. So I went through my roster and I said, who are the 4 best people that I've ever played with that I can get together with at this fucking table and make the all-star team? And that's what LFVCU was. is because I wanted to. I'm getting so excited. I wanted to get the 4 best players I've ever ran for together at a table, and that's what this is. And still to this day, I play with. Look, I love 12 gauge, love them to death, but for what I like to get out of my players, you guys provide it. Now, whether that makes you good players or whether it makes you a good player for Joe, I can't say. But it is rewarding for me to run these games. This is more rewarding than any other campaign I've ever ran, for sure. Again, whether that speaks to you guys as players or me and my preference, and I just have a type of player that I like, I don't know. But regardless, I think that you guys role play well. I think that you guys play off of each other well, and I like it a lot.
Everyone at this table like actually knows how to play the game. Like, even if you think you don't, like, we've all seen a good handful of players at this point in our lives, and like, I don't know. Yeah, I agree. Like, everyone here knows how to play the game like more than anyone else I've ever played with as well.
I'll tell you, and as somebody who's ran a lot of games, I always say to people that, and we're gonna start playing soon, I promise. Last thing that I want to talk about, I know when somebody gets it, and I've known it since I started. When you sit down at a table with those people, you know within the first couple of minutes, this guy gets it. You know, I know for the rest of my life, I cannot live without tabletop role-playing games. Whether I'm a player, whether I'm running the game, I would probably prefer to run the game, but at least as a player, I can't live until I'm 80, until I'm 90, until I can't do it anymore. This is the most fulfilling... Roll for initiative. This is the most fulfilling thing that I can get from a creative aspect. I love to write, but I can't write a book. I love to paint, but I can't paint a fucking picture or whatever. But this expression, I'm not going to get into it. This is cool, and I like it a lot. And I feel like you guys like it a lot, and because you guys like it a lot, it makes me like it more. Does that make sense? No.
You want to
Why can't you write it?
Yeah, I do. Alex, get in here. Come on. That is your guys' one compliment for the year. You guys get one.
The oldest fucking.
We'll get
I'm gonna
another
use a
one in
whole
2
set
months.
like this. Can't see
Nobody
the
can
fucking
read the
dice.
numbers.
Here we go. How do you want to do this?
That's your character dying.
You have a
Just
heart
fucking
attack at the
collapse.
table.
Dude, just fucking like 85 years old. Ask her if she
He
wants a
died
slice of
doing
pussy
what he-
pie.
He died doing what he loved.
Joe, we all go through initiative like 7
Roll
times.
Dude, I'll even do it now. I forget what it was, but like I wasn't understanding it the one time. Like you guys were giving me like numbers or something. I was like, dude, I'm not. Can you one more time? By the time I'm 85, sorry for the 17th time. 20 and over, 15 to 20. All right. Let me get a recap of the last session, please. Yo, you guys ever watch Band of Brothers?
Yeah, great show.
Awesome.
Great
I
show.
just watched it for the first time last month.
Riley's dad put me and Riley onto it. It's awesome.
Fantastic. So good.
So many great actors in that.
That, like, you did not know before, and, like, now they
The
come...
only one that I know is the guy from Office Space.
Well, yeah, the guy from Office Space, but
Yeah.
also, Bull
He was
in The Walking Dead. Abraham.
Thank
Yes.
you.
But there's, like, a
Abraham,
lot of characters in that, and a lot of... But, like, dude, I was watching that, and I was just, like, by, like, episode 5 or 6, I was like... Why am I not like bleeding out in a ditch somewhere in rural
Right?
France right now? Like this is what I was supposed to do. This is what it means to be a man. I was like,
It feels like
dude.
it made sense back then. Like, I'm a 24-year-old man and I'm dying to defeat the Nazis. What the fuck am I doing with my life?
And I bet that shit hit so fucking hard after 9/11 because it aired
That's what
like
it was.
right after 9/11. I bet that everyone ate that shit up.
Dude, there's a good
Good
like
show.
if you're 21 in 2001, there's a good chance I'm like, fuck it.
That would get me in. That would get me to enlist
Yeah.
for sure.
Thanks, George Bush.
My brother-in-law, he enlisted a little bit after 9/11, like a couple years after, but like that's one of his favorite
Yeah.
fucking shows, and he put me onto that.
It's
And
so good.
good,
he was a
dude.
Marine. Yeah,
So good.
it's crazy.
But, like, if that's your life, I mean, it's sad. It's sad from an outside perspective, but, like, you die in the snow in France in a trench battle. Fucking, you lived a good life.
I can hang my hat on that. I can
100%.
The one episode that like still sticks with me is the episode that just surrounds the medic when they're in Belgium.
Yes.
And they're dug in, and it's just the medic the whole episode.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dude, like, what is a better role to fulfill in life than being like a frontline medic like that? Like, that is so like, I don't know. It's just something about. It's a band of brothers, bro. Like, those are your dudes, man.
That's one where he keeps going back to the church, and at the end, the church just gets fucking
completely
blown
demolished.
Up.
Yeah. And he was like a Louisiana like bayou boy. Such a good show. Yes, Finn.
Alex is shitting.
He must be. He must.
Real quick before we start the session, next level up, which is going to be level 4, you guys are going to be provided, I think most of you are going to get an ASI, which is an ability score improvement, in which you can add 2 to a skill or 1 to 2 skills. Want to be clear, I do this in all my games. Instead of doing the ability score improvement at level 4, you could additionally take a feat. So, with the 4 of you on your various excursions for goods, we pick up with Levi, hopping the fence over into the junkyard behind Bagra's smithy. There's a lot of things in here. You see piles and piles of different bits and gears and baubles, chunks of Warforged buried from the wrist up. It's going to take you some time to go through this, but what, if anything, are you looking for specifically?
Not brittle pieces of metal, solid pieces of metal, and sheets, if I can. Things that I think I can. It's not going to be too hard to fit under fit under both my armpits. And also, if I can, if there's any tubing around here, plastic, rubber, any see-through tubing.
Okay, see-through tubing is going to be pretty tough. The best you might get would be like copper or maybe metal tubing, but it's not going to be see-through. If you wanted see-through tubing, it would have to be glass blown, for sure. But to kind of break it down a little bit for you as you're making your way perusing these different piles of junk, there's probably around like 5 main different separations of things in this junkyard. Like I said, it's a small area, probably 20 paces by 20 paces. There's a stack of like dented, chipped, broken breastplates and shoulder guards. None of them seem like they match. It all looks like mismatched, just junk. There's another spot that just has a lot of Warforge scrapped. So like a mix of limbs and plating, internal gears that are kind of spread around. It's all leaning against the fence on the north side of this little section here. Additionally, there's a rack that's set up with bits and pieces of broken weapons. It's weathered, and you see like some shafts with no blades, blades with no shafts. A lot of stuff that you can probably take a look at there. There's also a bin, like a wooden crate that's set up overflowing with loose components. I'm talking about like gears, springs, sprockets, rivets, all sorts of stuff in there. But the one thing that you do see is closer to what you notice to be a door that leads into the back of the smithy, separated from everything else. Seems to be a pile of stuff that doesn't look too bad, almost as if it was like purposefully separated because it's still junk, but it might look a little less ruined. Is there any of those specific areas that you'd want to dig into a little bit more?
Yeah, so the first thing I'm going to grab is 2 larger gears, maybe like foot and a half size, if I can grab them from the pile of gears.
Foot and a half. I mean, they're a little bit smaller than that. I would say the biggest one is probably about like 8 inches.
Okay. Yeah, 2 biggest ones I can get, and then go for that pile that looks like it's the nicest.
Okay. There is a decent amount of stuff in here, just kind of briefly skimming through it. There's 2 shin guards that look pretty good, like light, minimal rust. You feel like you can kind of buff those out. There's this thinner sheet of folded steel that definitely looks like it can be reforged. You also see like a half-built helmet frame that's missing a visor. You see an iron kettle that has the spout cracked, but the bottom is like reinforced like 2 or 3 times over. And then you also see a bent iron bird cage.
Okay, definitely want to go for the folded steel and the bracers.
Okay.
If I can, trying to pick this stuff up with my hands, compare, and then see if there's any other tubing, maybe if I see any. Obviously you said it might be copper or something, just a little bit. I don't need a ton.
Yeah, over to that wooden crate that I said had kind of like loose components where you grab the gears from. You do see some tubing in there. And while you're looking for gears, you see one specific brass gear that looks like it has like sharp teeth, razor sharp all along the edges. Like I mentioned, there's some springs. You see a small like hatch assembly that's probably about like, you grab it with your hands, probably about like 6 inches across by 6 inches across. Gears, cogs, bolts, bearings. It's all mismatched sizes here. Hard to like mix and match. But you do find some copper tubing, and as you pick it up, there's something that's stuck to the bottom of the copper tubing that you pick up. And it seems like it's a decent size, probably say about like 16, 17, maybe up to 20 inches long. But connected to the bottom, there's like this small triangular piece of metal that's like stuck on the bottom, and it's got a leather strap hanging off of it.
Can I investigate it, see what it is?
Yeah, you kind of pull it off. It's like this flat, small, triangular piece of metal. It's dull, blackened metal. There's like these faint red lines. Looks like almost like cooled lava covering it, but it's magnetic. It sticks to the bottom, and when you pull it off with a little bit of force, you can tell that it's magnetic. The one thing that's interesting is when you take it off like this, even under the hot sun, skies are beautifully blue, not a cloud in the sky, and obviously it's hot out here. This metal that you touch is hot. This is really hot as it touches your hands.
You kind of take it, separate it, put it in the tubing itself, so I don't have to touch it.
Yeah, and it sticks on the inside there.
So what I want to try to hold here, out of what I've found, is that folded steel, the bracers, the 2 gears, copper tubing, and then if I can, I want to try to grab the hinge and put it in the bird cage.
Okay, easy enough.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not a problem at all.
Am I kind of at my capacity from here?
No, you still got a ways to go. I would say realistically, you can probably hold maybe 10, 15 pounds more.
Okay, honestly, the rest of it, just as much as I think solid, not brittle scrap metal from here.
So it's going to bring you to 2 portions of this junkyard. The first of which was that armor stack that I was mentioning.
Mm-hmm.
You see a chest plate that has like a big dent in it, but still solid metal, can definitely be reworked. There's a pauldron, like a shoulder piece, that looks like it's got like gouge marks in it. Mm-hmm. You could probably rework that too. The one thing that you do notice too is like this layered steel collar that would go like underneath a helmet. But it looks like fairly well made. There's like these faint kind of etching of like vines on it. Looks fairly well made. You can definitely service that. In the Warforged area, like I said, it's a mix of limbs and plating, internal gear, sprockets, stuff like that. You see like a Warforged hand, but the big thing that catches your eye is this Warforged like faceplate with a crack running through it. And you feel like that's definitely serviceable scrap metal for sure. There's a forearm piece that you're able to find that has a built-in slot for like an extendable tool, but it's empty. It's just like kind of like this lever that kind of comes up and shoots out of the wrist of this forearm here. A bunch of different chest pieces too. Various states of wear, the best of which that you kind of look at has just a couple dents, some scratches in it. The last part that you feel like is going to be particularly useful, just because I know what you have in mind, is there's an iron spine. And each vertebra can probably be used for like hinges or joints. Definitely useful for like that in-between material.
Yeah, definitely grabbing that. But then also, I honestly want to try to avoid anything that's right in your face Warforged.
Gotcha.
Anything that can be reworked that's not like, oh, he's just fucking Warforged.
Yeah. The chest pieces aren't immediately recognizable, but the faceplate for sure is.
Yeah, then grab that vertebrae and whatever else scrap metal I can and fill my hands at this point.
Okay, easy enough. You take that, you have the tubing, and I'm sorry, you put that little thing in the tubing?
Yes, right. I drop it into the tube. That
Okay.
what I think is a magnet, I guess. I don't know if I know what magnets are.
It's sticking to the metal for some reason, and it's not sticky, but it's hot.
Try to hop over the fence if I need to, drop a little bit of it and get it back in my hands.
You might need to make 2 trips in
Yeah.
order to do it.
But I want to walk back in there with my hands filled.
Gotcha. So this whole process takes you probably about like 30, maybe even 45 minutes. During this time, what are the 3 of you guys doing? Kree, you're still inside with Bagra.
I mean, I imagine that this would have been taking place like simultaneously. Maybe
Yeah,
I'm
probably
wrong,
like
but
during the conversation.
If not, I'm just hanging out, chilling with Rook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of just waiting for the errand to be done. I mean, same thing. I would have been shopping kind of simultaneously.
Yeah, and I would say
back up.
Hontō, you probably meet up with Rook after he buys his healer's kit. You buy your cloth. You guys reconvene, probably make your way out. It's not hard to see Kree like standing outside of the smithy there. And probably by that time that you guys are reconvened, Levi comes around the corner, tons of stuff in his hands.
Pay the blacksmith my 5 gold.
He takes a look.
Oh, well, you're pretty strong. That's a lot of stuff there. Is it good? You like it?
Yeah. I think it should work. Can you do me a? And I kind of give him a hip towards where my coin pouch is. You want to take out?
Reaches in and these fat fingers kind of accidentally take out like 7 pieces, and he like
I'm sorry. That's too bad.
takes out 5, sticks it in his overall pocket that's folded over.
If you need anything else, just ask.
Yeah, pleasure doing business with you. And I kind of that big kind of walk to try to get out of there with all this stuff in my hands, make sure nothing falls.
It kind of part of the tubing like sticks across the door frame, and you got to kind of like take a step back and like walk out a little awkwardly angled, make your way out. The 4 of you reconvened outside of Bagra's shop.
Where the hell are we making camp?
I have lots of gold left if we want to stay at an inn.
Yeah.
I don't see why we don't just get a room. Or 2.
You don't like this, Levi?
Nope. I'm with the group, and I kind of try to move my hand up to wipe the blood that's on my nose.
Maybe taking a moment or 2 to readjust your grip on all the things in your hand as your arms are starting to strain a little bit.
Yeah.
Should we go back to the inn and see if we can secure a room for the next week?
Yep.
Okay. Back to the inn.
Back to the inn. Making your way back to the Wolf Call Cradle, the tavern owner who you've interacted before, the female behind the bar, seems to be serving 2 guests who seem to be talking to each other, both orcs. She kind of turns over and looks over at the 4 of you. Hi.
Hello. We just stayed here last night. Hassan paid for that, right?
He did, yeah.
Hassan, the merchant, paid for our rooms. Would you be able to supply us housing for the next week?
The next week, well, Hassan has left, and before he left, he paid for your guys' rooms for 5 nights. So if you would like the next week,
For 5 nights, really?
he said to tell you that he will catch up with you later, and he appreciates your investment.
Okay.
If you'd like 2 days tacked on
How much?
for both rooms, it would be 5 silver each. For 2 nights, 2 gold.
Okay. I'll give it 2 gold.
2 gold. She puts it into a pouch that's behind the bar. you can continue to stay in the rooms that you're in.
Thank you.
I quickly walk up to the room.
Quick strides up to the room.
Rook wants a bite to eat.
Bite to eat. What are you looking for specifically?
Rook's looking for a nice stew.
A nice stew, with or without meat.
Nice and hearty.
Nice hearty stew. She does offer you a stew at a relatively cheap price. If you do saddle up at the bar and order, food, lunch, whatever the case may be, it's easy enough. She only charges you 3 silver for it.
Okay, I want to...
Say, do you have any turnips?
Turnips. We have some carrots, I believe. Turnips, no.
How much carrots do you have?
A bushel or so. You need it for
How much?
For how many?
How much is a bushel?
Does Rook know?
No. Yeah, maybe actually. I don't see why not.
It's more of like a civilized term, I would say.
No.
How many do you need?
Can you show me what a bushel is?
Sure thing. She walks back, comes back with like a bucket of carrots.
How long will that feed Turnip?
Turnip would probably eat with that if he's not being sustained by the stable masters there. This would provide him...
He can still eat that grass, no?
Oh, he could. But for this specifically, if he were to eat nothing but this, maybe like 5 or 6 days.
Is he coming with us?
You're asking me like I know. I don't know.
5 to 6 days?
That's your fucking
How
mule
much
now.
is it?
How much?
7 silver and 5 copper?
Can you do 7 silver?
Sure thing, sweetheart.
Rook's learning. I take the bushel.
She gives it to you. It's basically like one of those shallow wooden buckets full of it. Just if you could return the container to me, if that's okay.
Sure.
I have a pouch. Can I put it all in there and give it back the bucket?
It's probably like pushing the edge and like it's like straining at the edges, but yeah, you can stuff it all
be
in
able
there.
to fit with
No,
them in there?
no, not with all the carrots in there. He might be able to if he squeezes.
We'll gamble.
Fair.
I'm gonna give her back the bucket now.
Okay, she takes the bucket.
I like groan a little bit, but I'll let it happen.
So, what else do you guys want to do here while the 4 of you are reconvened at the tavern?
Take a fucking nap.
Yeah.
I'm upstairs with my medal. I want to kind of lay it out on the floor and then take out a piece of my paper that I have and start sketching as I'm trying to lay out pieces like a full set of armor.
So, there are a few things that occur to you during this. You know that you're going to need some other materials. Probably like quality materials. As you take the time, however long it takes you to sketch it, make your blueprints, whatever the case is, you think that if you additionally acquire maybe like 15 gold worth of specifically leather, you know you're going to need leather for what you want to do, and quality rivets, you feel confident that you could probably craft a suitable set of ring mail. It's going to take you some time. It's probably going to take you 6 days to really make this thing if you work at least 8 hours a day. And obviously you're going to need smith tools and proficiency with smith tools. I'm going to let you stew on that. What do you guys want to do?
I don't need to RP it super heavy, but I would like to go back to the smith and see, and just scout around the shop. Is it closed? Is it? I know it's late. Is it closed?
No, it's still you.
like,
You
what's
guys. You guys are early in the morning still. You guys are maybe around like before midday.
Oh shit.
I didn't realize that. Either.
Okay, I don't want to go there then. Yeah, I don't want to go there.
I have one more task that I would like to do throughout the course of the entire 7-day rest.
Yeah.
and
So
that's
what
really
I was gonna definitely get to like the 7-day rest period, but before we like officially start our rest, I just want to know: is there anything that you guys want to do for today?
I do have something I want to do. I want to spend time reading my book.
Okay, taking some time reading your book. Is this gonna take time over like the 7 days here?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's just do that. What are you guys doing over these 7 days?
I'm reading my fucking book.
Read a
And
book
feeding Turnip.
and feeding turn, visiting, making sure like he's being
Visiting,
kept
yeah.
well and all that kind of stuff. Okay.
I am meditating, doing that kind of thing, and then when I'm not, I'm a spectator at the pits. And I
Okay.
know Kara said that he would hope to be healed in like sort of a short time, right?
Yeah, he said like 3, maybe 5 days.
So that's what I'm, maybe to watch him or something.
Okay.
Be there to see that.
Kree? 7 days?
If Kree were to join Hontō, would Hontō be cool with that? And like just hanging out at the pits? Yeah, I hear you're going to the pits this morning. Is that true?
Yes, I met a tabaxi named Kara. He's a fighter at the pits. He has not lost. He said he's recovering from an injury and he will be healed in some days. So I hope to go there and observe and study and see what he can do.
Another tabaxi, is he where you're from?
He is, coincidentally.
Oh.
I really am not interested for that reason. I know that although I do not want to engage in the fighting pits yet, something about them is where I think I might find something I'm looking for.
Interesting, but let me tell you the truth. I would love to learn more about this other tabaxi that supposedly is from the bog, like you. I don't know, is this another monk like yourself? I don't know how diverse these tabaxi can be, but
There are many tabaxi
I'm curious. Would you mind if I joined you?
in the bog. You can come.
Wonderful.
So, joining Hontō on his excursions to the fighting pits, are you at any point taking up Bagra on his offer for the scale mail?
No, during the nights, I want to go scout out the smith and see how guarded the smith is.
Okay, easy enough for you to do that on your endeavors over these 7 days. Levi, 7 days.
Instead of trying to make ring mail out of this, can I use the current scale mail that I have that I started with and use these pieces to put it onto it?
In order to make what?
I'm not trying metagaming closet. In my what I'm trying to do, the artificer that I'm becoming, it's just to make new armor. What I'm doing here with the armor isn't to like increase the AC right now. It's just flavor because what I'm gonna be becoming. So just adding these pieces to my current scale mail that I have. Because actually the AC is higher and I save gold.
Yeah, okay.
So just adding these pieces to the current scale mail. My AC is going to stay the same.
So this is just all flavor.
Yes.
Okay, so if this is just flavor, during this downtime, I'll let you do something else if you want to. Because whatever additions you're making to your own armor, you would probably do like maybe 2 hours a day, So you have a lot of other downtime if there's anything else you wanted to do.
Honestly, he's really invested in how this looks and how this comes across, and he wants to incorporate these pieces. But I did probably the second night, and I'm in a room with Hontō.
Yeah.
Maybe the second night. Is there one bed here?
Yeah, it's one bed.
Yeah, but I sleep at the foot. You know how we do.
As Hontō sleeps at the foot, I want to stay up late working on my armor. Maybe midnight. I'm bothered. My wounds are starting to heal from this beating that I had.
Scarring over.
Hontō, do you feel that I'm... Am I useful?
Useful? You care if you're useful?
Am I helping this group?
We are surviving. Just be.
Just be. Can I show you how I be?
I give him a smirk. And I want to roll insight as to whether he's being sexual.
Go ahead. Please roll insight.
15.
No. Unless I'm sorry, I hate to step in there. I'm so sorry. I'm so
waiting
sorry.
for him to
I'm so
answer, and
sorry.
you
I'm so
answer.
sorry.
No. Levi's not trying to be... The complete honesty, Levi's not trying to be sexual at all. He feels defeated. He was emasculated. He was, as this guy that always wants to try to be the show that he's not a leader, but like the best in the group. The best. This guy, he's genuinely coming to you to ask you if he's useful to you.
If I could describe Honto's body language in that moment, it's a physical, like, smirk and that's what she said without saying words. And then lightening his mood and... Okay.
Levi goes into the bag of holding, which has been sitting kind of propped up in the corner, and he digs around for a while till he finds a flask, a little vial, test tube that you haven't seen since we were in the caves, and he got that liquid, that poison, but this one's filled with what looks like a blue wispy, almost equivalent to the souls that he's been collecting, and he also pulls out a hammer and a chisel that you notice we got from the orcs. And he comes over to the foot of the bed. Grabs your paw in his hand. Can you trust me?
What are you going to do?
He turns the paw over. And he puts the chisel to the first claw that he sees. And he hesitates and looks at you again. Do you trust me? Can I be useful to you?
So I have all my claws out, right? And you have it on one?
Yeah, just one. Just ready. Hammer in the hand, chisel in the other. Chisel pressed against your claw.
I retract all but the one he has. Do not mess up.
Very lightly, Levi wants to start chiseling in, almost like if you were to paint somebody's nail, but just on the surface. Just start chiseling in these symbols, and it's different arrows, and it's circles, and it's trapezoids as he goes down, maybe 6 or 7 across each claw as he starts to go down.
Oh, you want to do each one?
Yes.
You asked for the other one, and I'm like, how did it feel? How did it actually feel?
Gentle.
On the one.
Gentle, for sure.
Oh, all right, then I fucking...
Mm-hmm.
I purr. I fucking purr. I'm not gonna purr.
Oh, kinky.
I'm getting hot and bothered.
I'm not gonna purr, but I purr.
Going through the second, then the third.
And by the time it's 10, it's cresting dawn.
Yeah. You guys have been doing this for like an hour, hour and a half, maybe more.
Bro, I'm conked, you know? He's just doing his thing.
Levi's sweating because he's trying to be so careful, so ever careful. And then he pulls out the vial this wispy... Is it a liquid? Is it a gas? But it's blue. It's beautiful blue. And he starts to pour it over the top of the first claw. And as he does, it doesn't spill out. No, it fills the crevices that he made in these different shapes. And then he does the second, then the third, and the 10th. And as you look at your claws, it's vibrant. This glowing blue is in your claws.
Stop! Just do it. Do what you're gonna do. You're gonna give me a fucking boner, bro.
I saw how bothered you were getting.
Is
Anyway.
it really not sexual?
My nipples are rock hard, bro. No, it's not sexual.
No way,
The
this is not
15
sexual.
on insight, dude.
Oh my god. Honto's licking his lips right now.
Honto's
like-
asleep and purring.
God, I'm fucking sweating, dude.
He's sticking his ass up really high.
And as Levi finishes the 10th claw, what you see in the corner, you see a hat. A hat of vermin. And it goes, and it puffs.
Disappears into nothingness.
No, it's still a hat. But it seems less.
Ah,
Less of a hat.
okay.
It's a hat in all lowercase.
It went from a hat to a hat.
And he looks over your claws, admiring his work as he feels useful to the group and tells you these, they should help you. These should be better for you. I know you use them a lot. They should help in our endeavors. I hope I can help.
Are you just going to let me wait and see until I use them?
It should add like a +1 to your rolls and your damage also.
So mechanically, what did you just do?
It's enhanced weapon, and it adds a +1 to the roll and to the damage. To the roll to hit and to the damage every single time you use your claws.
+1.
Yeah, +1 to both.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
just okay,
Mhm.
yeah.
So normally this can only be applied to a weapon. I am allowing this.
Is it not? Are his claws not? I thought we decided his claws were a melee.
They are
weapon.
technically not. I'm allowing this for 2 reasons. 1, I'm rocking a half chub right now. 2, he's a monk. He's a monk, so these are his weapons. It's the weapons he's been using this entire fucking campaign. But in the future, like, you can't... I don't think that you'd be able to do that for Rook. I don't think that you'd be able to do it for the hands of him. This is specifically for him.
Is this temporary? Or
It's till
use?
I want. It's we have. I get a metagaming
that's
closet.
why the hat poofed.
I have two. I have 4 things that I can do, and I just switch it in this long rest. And I can have 2 things active at the same time. Right now, it's the bag of holding and your claws.
Physically, does it look like he's got acrylics on? Or, like, what does it look like?
Well, I can
He looking kind of key.
you know, I can take my claws in and out, so like
But if you take a second to, like, look them over, what do they look like?
That if you look deep into them, because I didn't try to. He was scared. He was nervous. I wanted to be gentle with him.
It's his first time.
I didn't go too deep.
No more, dude. No more, please.
Uncomfortable.
You guys are sick. You guys, are you purring? I need to get out of here. Ooh, it's fucking scary.
It's this. If you look into
Yeah,
the
Mom?
claws-
Hey, it's me. Can you come pick me up?
I mean, as you look, it's not. Once again, it's not deep. The claws, the indentations are not deep. But if you look closely into them, you can see them as they almost glitter and wisp. These 6 or 7 symbols as they go down your claws. And I'm assuming your claws. What color are your claws?
regular cat claws.
Yeah, like whitish,
White,
like
yeah.
off-white.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they seem to glow.
We will see when the time comes. And I, retract them. And
Go back to sleep.
well, you said it's till dawn, right? Isn't that what you?
Well, I imagine during this
This is the
entire,
morning.
I imagine through this entire progression, like you're nodding in and out,
Yeah,
like just like falling asleep and like waking back up, and like he's like onto like the 7th claw, and you like fall back
He's
asleep.
smiling. Like,
Yeah.
Right next to me.
What? Here's the big question here.
Till dawn.
What is Levi's demeanor during this? Is it focused? Is it like what when Hontō comes in and out of consciousness watching this happen, what's the look on your face?
A scared sadness.
Wow. Okay.
Genuinely, that's what he felt. It was the first honest moment he's had where he felt like he was useless.
Peek beyond the veil, Hontō. But it ends as the sun rises.
Even in that moment, I still tried to make you laugh. You remember that?
Thank you.
So, for the rest of this long rest, I know Rook is reading his book, Kree, Hontō, you guys are going to the fighting pits, and consistently, Levi, you're going to be working on your armor?
Yes.
Okay. Just continuing with you before we get to everybody else, there does come a point where you're making alterations to the armor where you do run into that magnetized piece of metal again. And it just sticks to it, and it's still hot to the touch. The rest of the metal is cool. Like I mentioned, I mean, it seems different. It seems not like a piece of scrap metal. I mentioned it before, flat, small, triangular. It's dull, blackened metal, and it has like these lines of red that look like just like cooled, almost like petrified lava in it. And like I said, it's warm to the touch.
With the hammer and chisel, what I want to try to do at one point in this whole process is split it into two.
Okay, what are the limitations of what you're trying to do? Is this a specific...
I have one magnet. I want to try to make it into two so I can have something that sticks together. I want to have two pieces to this that end up sticking together.
Okay. Banging it out. Roll Arcana.
20, not natural.
20, not natural. The first strike of the hammer lets out these motes of purplish, bluish energy. This item is magical, and you feel like if you continue with the next hit, you may break it and break any magical properties it may have.
No, then I want to stop. Yeah, I want to stop.
What do you do with it?
What I want to do for it... Okay, so for flavor's sake, to peel back the curtain, the armor that I'm trying to build has multiple uses, and it has these different kinds of weapons that I can use on the armor. And what I want to do is almost have a gauntlet that's on my hand, that's on my wrist, that goes down my forearm, and using this gear that I can turn at a moment's notice, and turn back the other way to change the different weapons. And what I want to do is keep that piece of metal on the front of my wrist,
Okay.
so that I could turn it, and it would lock into place with one strip of metal that goes down the side of my arm.
Okay.
One strip of metal that goes down the front of my arm, so it kind of locks into place with this magnet.
This whole process of altering your armor is probably going to take the full 7 days rest.
Yeah, that's what I assume.
Okay. So you begin going through that process. I'm going to actually pick up with Rook next before we get to the fighting pit stuff. You're going through your book, Rattlesnakes Unfold by Saeed Al-Nasik. Like I mentioned when you first picked up this book, this seems to be a mix of poems and also like biographical anecdotes of somebody's travels through the desert lands, specifically dealing with the Maiwayan people. This person says that his name is Saeed Al-Nasik and that he is the head of the Al-Nasik royal family. He describes himself as a poet king, a good leader, well respected, but that he feels as though his understanding of the world is not large enough, and so he embarks on this journey. He is not seeking the Maiwayan people, but through his stories and his poems, and they're all really flowery and really nice, he eventually runs into them. Now, through these 7 days, you get a good sense of who this person is. He's really vain. He talks about himself a lot. Specifically in the beginnings of the book, He thinks he's super smart and very romantic. He talks about his interactions with Maiwayan people, which we'll get to and we'll kind of dive into in a second here. But for the most part, you see this as almost like a poor representation of the Maiwayan people. He describes them as simple, but he also has like a respect for them. As if like they understand more about the natural world that anybody else would. But that they're strictly stuck with that. He has criticisms of them. That because they refuse to leave the place where the cactus flower blooms, they rob other cultures of their culture, which he describes in detail, and a lot of like rituals that you're familiar with and the inner workings of like Maiwayan society that you're familiar with, he describes in detail. There are a few excerpts that stick out to you as particularly noteworthy. I'm going to hand them to you. Specifically, it's 4 poems and 2 anecdotes. The second part of that page sticks out to you for a very, very specific reason, and I'm sure when you read it, you'll know.
The second part?
Yeah. So we'll jump back to that, any kind of questions that you have once we kind of clear up whatever happens at the parade grounds, the fighting pits. So, Hontō, Kree, I know that you guys might be going there for 2 different reasons. Why exactly are we going to the fighting pits?
I want to, well, obviously I have to wait until Kara is ready to fight, but watch Kara fight. And also kind of like, I don't know, I really don't have a lot of experience at the fighting pits, so I'm there to observe the fighters and what the majority of the fighting styles are and how people are, you know, doing martial arts in this region. What can I take away from it?
Okay. And Kree?
Honestly, Kree doesn't care as much, right? He's just kind of hanging out with Hontō, but is also intrigued by this other tabaxi from the same area as Hontō. He is more focused on, you know, kind of stalking the Smith at night.
Is this almost like a cover?
He's just
Kree?
hanging out with Hontō for as long as he wants. No, this is not a cover at all. This is like, oh, at night I'm doing this, and during the day I'm just got nothing else to do during the day. So,
okay. So, through these 7 days, you learn a lot about the parade grounds. It's public. It is a brawling blood sport. There's a lot of betting. You come away with, above all, an understanding that the parade grounds exist to generate capital, to make money. People take bets, over, under, rounds, parlays, all sorts of stuff for this. Mainly collected near the front, but you also see coins changing hands privately, like in the actual seating for this stadium. Stadium itself is probably about the size of like maybe half a football field, maybe like a quarter of a football field. Pretty small area. There are a couple different fight types that you witness. First of all, and the most common, are duels. 2 fighters, they just go at each other. There's usually like 1 to 3 fights a day. You notice maybe one day you'll see 4, but you'll never have a day that goes by during, you know, your excursion here that doesn't have any fights. There's always at least 1 fight a day. These duels are always between 2 fighters. Sometimes they're both bare-fisted. Sometimes they both have weapons. Sometimes one is bare-fisted and one has weapons. The one thing that's interesting is you notice 3 times, 3 fights that you watch that are these duels involve a weapon swap, where mid-match you hear this voice shout, "Swap!" and they'll hand each other's weapons to the other person, and then they'll continue fighting like that. That's the first type of fight that you see. The other fight that you see seems to be 1 or maybe more, sometimes 2 or 3 fighters against a creature. The first one that you see is hard to mistake what the creature is. It's a giant scorpion. This one orc just dipping, bobbing, weaving. And to be clear, through this entire time, you don't see anybody die. The fighters that go against these beasts always end up winning. Sometimes it's close, but they always win. Like I mentioned, the first one you see is a giant scorpion. The second creature, I need both of you guys to roll Arcana for me.
16.
Nat 20.
Both of you guys recognize this creature as an owl bear. A bear-like creature with the face of an owl, this sharp beak that almost glimmers in the sun. Easily dispatched by the person fighting it. The third creature, I need you guys to roll Arcana again.
17.
15.
Both of you guys recognize it as a bullet or boulette. A big, large, almost like shark-like creature, reinforced with natural armor that easily burrows around the field, digs tunnels, and pops up. Huge predator. This one is taken on by 3 people in the ring, and it takes a decent time for it to get dispatched. One of the fighters actually ends up going down. Now, during your time spent there are a few fighters that appear frequently. The first of which seems to be the most popular, is a man who is announced as Krath Bonejaw. I would need both of you guys to roll a general history check. It's a pretty easy DC. Go ahead and roll history.
11.
15.
You guys both recognize this race. It is a large, tall, gangly creature. Brownish colored skin, halfway between a giant and a human, referred to as a Goliath. This specific creature is a desert Goliath. He's tall, covered in scars, but he's missing the lower half of his jaw, and he fights a lot. One more time, his name is Krath Bonejaw. Another fighter that you see a lot is a bugbear named Ruzga, who's constantly like covered in mud. Almost like mid-fight picks up some of the dirt and like rubs it into his skin. The last one that you see a lot is a weird looking creature. He's announced as Shar Three Arms. Looks like an orc, but he has this third shorter arm that kind of extends out of his right abdomen, and it always wields this dagger. He holds a greatsword in his hand and this third arm holding a dagger. Fights people. On the 5th day, you see Kara, who fights in a duel, one-on-one, against somebody who is announced as Usha the Spinebreaker, an orc who's wearing this necklace of bones. The fight takes a little bit of time. Kara dips, dodges, and eventually gets a good cut across the opponent's chest. Blood spurts out, and the orc yields. I'm going to get into whatever questions you guys might have, but the last thing that I want to cover is that throughout this, it's impossible to miss that each fighter has a promoter. The one promoter that seems to be the largest, maybe through talking with people or interacting with other people, or even if he announces his own name, he's referred to as the Drog. He's an orcish promoter. He's got this booming voice, these massive tusks that extend up out of his lower jaw that are capped in silver. He seems to be representing a lot of these fighters. Another promoter that you see referenced a few times is a goblin, who actually you notice represents Kara. Goblin named Ring. Real, like, shady looking guy. Doesn't even like watch the fight. Just seems like he's like counting out coins, talking with other people who are walking up to him. There's a raven that lands on his shoulder and he grabs something from the raven. Now through these fights, there's a few details that kind of stick out. First of all, these are not fights to the death. Every single fight that you watch ends in submission or the killing of some creature if it's like a beast battle. Additionally, you see that sometimes people refuse to surrender and the promoter will intervene to end the fight. Constantly, you see audiences throwing objects into the ring, bones, flagons, mugs, sometimes even coins into the ring. Never like weapons for the people to use or anything like that, but just like shit that they're throwing. Really unruly crowd. But most of all, this seems like, probably say about maybe like half the fights that you see, a lot of showmanship. Fighters posing, taunting, playing to the crowd. If you guys want to place bets during this time, we can do that, but you notice that that's a big part of all of this. I did mention the result for Kara's fight, but realistically, if that was something that you guys were interested in, let me know if that's something you want to do, or if you have any specific questions about the actual fights at the parade grounds. This is all a lot of information that you're able to accrue over 7 days.
Yeah, I'd say generally Hontō is trying to deduce which fighting style or styles, if any, seem to be intriguing or yielding good results that are piquing my interests into maybe giving some thought to, like, rather than just punching and dodging.
I would definitely say the one thing that's interesting to Hontō is this idea of the deconstruction of structured monastic combat. So this idea that each of these fights, although they all end in surrenders or yields, seem like fights to the death. And each fighter is fighting like that. Biting, kicking, throwing sand in the opponent's eyes. Improvisation, right? This pugilistic kind of bar fighting nature of it. That's something that strikes Hontō as having serious applications in a more structured line of monastic thinking. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. That's what you come away with here. But there's also like martial combat that you might not be too familiar with. The use of swords, flails, no like ranged weapons or anything like that. Spears, halberds, all sorts of stuff like that, which you don't really have too much experience with. But strictly with the hand-to-hand combat stuff, I would say those improvisational techniques. Even watching Kara's fight, at one point he kicks dust up and then punches through the dust, almost catching his opponent by surprise, which is a tactic that you think would have serious applications in your line of fighting.
Okay. And then, I guess only because you said it, what's up with the guy with the mud on him? Like, what's he doing? What's his thing?
Ruzga, he is a bugbear, so this like furry looking, almost like a Bigfoot looking creature, fat belly. It's tough to tell. Roll investigation.
It's a 1, but a not nat 1.
You have no idea. You have genuinely no idea. It could be a genuine tactic that you feel confident you could put some weight into, or it could just be full-blown psychosis.
All right. Word.
He also fights barefoot.
Okay.
Kree, we're going to get to your investigations to the smithy, but are there any questions that you have about the parade grounds?
No, kind of just... Honestly, no. Yeah, just observing. Kind of also keeping a focus on Hontō and his reactions to the other tabaxi, but that's about it.
Okay. So, jumping over to your investigations of the smithy, Bagra leaves the shop around sunset and does not return until sunrise. The door has a lock, the back door has a lock, but for the most part, there are no guards, there are no watchtowers, there are no arcane instruments of alarm in place. It's just a smithy, unguarded, but locked. No windows, 2 entrances, one in the front, one in the back. the junkyard equally is even more vulnerable. Just simply a hop over the fence. You would realize that in its totality by the 4th day. I would say by the 5th day.
Okay.
In confidence.
I don't want to do anything to the last night before we leave, so.
Okay. Rook, any questions about your excerpt from the book? Pages or mentions that you think you kind of find a little interesting or noteworthy?
Me or Rook?
Either.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, Yuka is talked about a lot. Literally his name itself. So Rook's pretty, like, obviously he feels some type of way about that. And then, I mean, the second part, he would assume was talking about him. Yeah, I mean, is Rook just, like, alone in the room right now?
Yeah, I mean, you're spending all day.
Yeah, I mean, this makes him, like, pretty emotional, I feel like. He feels like this guy's talking pretty, for the most part, like, well about where he's from. But yeah, I think Yuka is what really, like, the paragraph that could be describing himself is one thing that's kind of like, whoa, that could be myself, but it doesn't say my name. But it literally says Yuka's name in this, so.
Do you have any questions about it as a player? Or like anything that you want to like ask me? Like, do I remember something? Do I anything like that?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he didn't come alone, this guy that wrote this.
You don't know. You're not sure. Whatever you can read is what you read. You never remember this guy visiting, for sure.
Yeah, no. I don't think I really have any questions. I mean, it's pretty straightforward, I feel like.
Okay. So like Kree comes in as you're reading through this book, and maybe you're on like one of the
Rook
stanzas
would probably be like, look at this.
So probably on that 5th night that you feel confident in your surveillance of the smithy, you come back in and Rook has just been nose deep in this book this entire time.
Whatever he is suggesting that I look at, I like happily oblige and see like whatever it may be that is intriguing him or he wants to share.
I literally just like share this whole entire thing with him. And Rook's like, it's almost like he's like not reminiscing, but almost like if you were like on TV. You know what I mean? And you're like,
look, Gary, that's me.
That's my family. Yeah, like basically. And
would you like to provide a dramatic reading in Rook voice?
Sure. So yeah, Rook brings you over and he's like, I've been reading in the book that I bought. Look. Can you read? He literally says that.
I can read the comment.
People in the place where the cactus flower blooms that can't read. So he has him read this part. I tried to speak clumsy words spilled like sand through my fingers. One taller than the rest bent towards me, its arms swaying like reeds. It hummed a note, soft and deliberate, and I understood it not with my ears but with my chest. The desert itself leaned in, and for a moment the world became a single breath shared between us. Kree, I'm taller than the most. I think that was me. Now, is there any possibility that I would remember?
You don't remember
No.
running into this guy specifically or whatever he's describing. You don't remember that, no.
And then I I point down. And then right here it says that he spent 3 nights beneath Yuka's watch in the Copper Dunes. Yuka's like family to me. I need to meet this guy. I wonder if I would recognize him.
Who's Yuka?
Yuka. Oh, he's like my father. I lived with him basically my whole life.
He's
He
like
taught
your
me everything
father?
I knew. Everything I know, healing, came from Yuka. And he was upset when I left.
Would he welcome you back?
Of course he would, yeah. Yeah, but he thinks that I'm, you know, too fragile. Do you think I'm too fragile?
Not at all. No, look, I do not think you're too fragile. Look at you. Look at what you've done in such a short amount of time.
What have I done? Made a couple bucks. Almost died a couple times. I don't know.
Look, I don't know about how many kobolds you've seen in your life, but there's only one my wave that I've ever seen in mine. And I can confidently say that you have stretched far out of any my way in comfort zone. Kree chuckles a little bit.
But what does that
itself
mean
is
if I
brave.
don't... If people don't know about it?
Do you never plan to return? Because if you do, then they will.
Well, I don't know. I feel like if I return, it means that I've either succeeded beyond expectations or failed and gave up. I don't know what Yuka would feel like if I came back. Relieved or disappointed.
That's a difficult feeling to have. I will tell you that, and I don't want to say that you're ungrateful because you are not. I can just tell by the type of person that you are that you are the opposite of that. But I think of myself and my family, and I have no one to go back to right now. And I wish that I at least had the choice and the option. I think that it's brave of you to even be contemplating such a thing, because I would understand how fearful I would be to return to my family.
I'm not fearful. I would love to go back. I'm fearful of what we do. It's much harder out here than it is back there. I mean,
I guess that's what makes my way different than a kobold.
I don't know even, I don't, feels like those Warforged just should have taken us out. Gone. That
What?
easily.
Why do you feel that way?
It feels like one thing after another. We can't make money without putting our lives in danger every single time. Is it worth me being out here? Saeed speaks. He speaks gracious about my land. And maybe I'm a little homesick.
I get that. I definitely get that. How far away from your people? I don't even know.
Further than you've probably ever traveled. Is that accurate?
You genuinely don't
Don't
know anymore.
So it would be difficult to go back. Is it east?
South.
Southeast, maybe?
Southeast.
Or, sorry, southwest. I'm sorry.
It's not the point of if it's hard to get back. It's just wondering what the future holds. It just feels like I'm on the brink of death sometimes. And reading this just makes me miss home, I guess, and safety. I didn't come out here for safety or
Yes,
money.
it's a little bit different. That's right. It is. I understand that, but it is a little bit different out here. I mean, truth be told, I don't know how old you are. I don't know how old my way can become, but a kobold's life is very short. At least before Cedar, it was very short and brief, and maybe you dug through the tunnels a little bit for a few years, and maybe you lived to about 6 or 7, but that was old.
6 or 7?
Roughly, yes. Maximum, yes. But I tell you this. Since I told you that have been praying for you every single night. I have been. I've been praying for Hontō, I've been praying for Levi, and I've absolutely been praying for you as well. I don't know. I feel that we are going to be okay. For some reason, I feel more comfortable above ground than I have underground for a long time. Long time. And I hope that you feel the same way eventually. It doesn't have to be right now, but eventually.
I hope so too.
Both of you guys take a point of inspiration, and both of you guys take a point of inspiration for the claw thing. I forgot to give you guys points of inspo for that. Your long rest nearly coming to a close. Whether or not you choose to join up with the war party headed east or not, regardless, you still find yourselves in Fort Chasm. But that's where we're going to pick up next session.
Who do you think's gonna have sex first? Which
You two are having sex next session. That's cool.
Thank you for listening to this installment of Shadow of the Seven, a Nasty Table production.